Today I'm going to give a quick tutorial on how to use our online steel beam calculator. So first of all, what I'd recommend that you do is you download the latest version of Firefox browser rather than Internet Explorer. The advantage of Firefox is that when you try a beam section and you input the load data, when you hit to generate the report, and you say you try a section and it doesn't work, when you hit the back button it saves the load data, so you don't have to re-input all the loads again. It doesn't do this in Internet Explorer. I mean, it does do that for Safari if you're using Apple. So either use Safari or Firefox. They're the two browsers we recommend. So if you don't already have Firefox, what I'd recommend is that you go to Google Internet Explorer and just Google Firefox and then download the latest version of Firefox. So if you just download there, which I've already done. So we go to Firefox, and then if we go to the online steel beam calculator, so if you just find the domain name. Now there's different sites. There's a UK site, there's a US and European. So if you just click on the correct one, so in this particular instance it's the United States, which is the .com site. So the next thing we need to do is log in. So here's the email address, my email address, and the password. That's already in there. It saves it in Firefox, so you need to input it once. But obviously make sure that you put the correct password in and your correct email address. If you've forgotten your password, you can use the forgotten password feature and it will email through to you the latest password. Okay, once you log in, it brings it here so you know that you're logged in. So always make sure that shows. If that doesn't show, it's not logged in and it won't work correctly. So what we need to do here is input the length of the beam design. So in this particular case it's 24 foot. We'll just leave that as the default beam size. Obviously there's different beam sizes there. You can use an S-beam or a channel section, but if we just go back to a W-beam. Okay, got minimum yield stress here, so this could be 36,000 or 50,000, so say 50,000. Okay, also have to confirm that the beam is restrained along its length so that it can't go anywhere. Okay, so the next thing we do is you've got different types of load here. You've got a uniform distributed load, so you've got a few standard loads here. If it's not on the list, you can just select other. So what you can do is have point loads. So here, let's assume we've got a point load at 8 foot. And assume that that's a truss. Obviously, it's up to each user to correctly identify the loads that are acting on the beam. Okay, so I'm just inputting the loads here. Okay, so we add another load here. So we can say at 16 foot. And here we've got this truss. Again, so that's 2250. Obviously you need to check the loads that are being applied to the beam. So that's that. So then what we need to do is we need to just check that you've inputted all the details correctly, and then you just hit run calculation, and then you can customize the report by adding your own details, but we'll not bother in this case. So you hit here. Okay, and this is the report that it generates. So if we look at the report, it fails, so we need to increase the size of the steel that's been selected. So what we do is if we get rid of that, and then we hit the back button, and we increase the size of the steel. Okay, hit run calculation again. Obviously it's logged in. Always make sure that it's logged in correctly. Download the report. So if we just check that the details are correct, the loads that we've applied. So we've got 2 point loads. These are the forces that are acting in the beam. And you see there it's therefore okay, so the beam is okay. It's quite important. Obviously read the notes and make sure that they're correct. And that's it really. Just need to trial different sections. Obviously the calculator doesn't tell you what section to use. You have to select that yourself. So you need to sort of carefully work out what kind of beam you would think would be reasonable before you input it. Okay, that's it. Any problems, just drop us an email.